guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be jumping back into some more SkyFactory One, creating all of the mob farms. So today, let's talk about mob farms. My goodness, are we overdue for some mob farms? There's so much stuff that we've done and just completely left those on their own. Now, we did make a mob farm in the past, early on. We did make a mob farm just to kind of get ourselves started with ender pearls and stuff. But after that, we really didn't need a whole lot more. But at this point, there is a lot that mob farms can provide. And as you can see, we're going to go mob farm crazy. You might notice some new buildings that have popped up over here on these stands. And these are going to become our new mob farms. Now, they're not huge because they really don't have to be huge. They really only need to be 5 blocks. And we're going to have a passive mob farm. We are going to have a regular hostile mob farm. We're going to have a mob slaughter factory mob farm. And we're also going to have ourselves a mob crusher mob farm where we can actually summon just about any mob we want, so long as we can capture it in a mob imprisonment tool. So really, we have all the farms that we could ever really want. One of the farms, however, is going to be a bit complicated to set up, and we're going to go over that. But let's talk about one thing just first. I read over your guys' comments where I copied this build over here and over here and over here. And a lot of you guys said for some reason that this was off by 1 block. I just want to show you that it is definitely not off by 1 block. Take a look at the shape of the pillar. This is the middle column here, and it runs right down the center. And what might have thrown you guys off was the fact that it didn't copy the stone slab bricks here. But as you can see, right here is the bottom cobblestone corner. And it is 1 block separated from the fence post here. So we have fence post, 1 block, and then it goes into the cobblestone here. And that is the corner piece of this whole thing. So it is symmetrical. Just to kind of cure some people who may have some OCD about it. Notice right here, fence post, right there is the cobblestone, and right there is the middle column, right? Same for all of these. None of these are messed up. I made sure because I was really concerned. When I seen that comment, I was like, oh my gosh, did I do that? Notice right here, this is the cobble, fence, cobble. There's the cobble pillar that goes up. So all of these are set up correct. It just may have been a little off-putting considering whenever I actually copy the build, it was missing the leaves on one side and leaves on the other side. And it also was missing this one. It was missing those slabs. And same on this one. As you can see, fence, piece of cobble here, and there is the start of the pillar going up. So yes, these are in the correct spots just to cure that little bit of OCD that some of you guys may have thought that it was actually over 1, which would have really bugged me as well. So to get started with these mob farms, we need to pop some chickens, and well, yeah, we literally pop chickens. That's what we're gonna be doing. So we're gonna get ourselves started with a mob slaughter factory first, right? We've set that up, but this time I don't think I want to use passive mobs for it. I'm gonna use hostile mobs for it. We will generate pink slime. I don't know if there's a huge difference between pink slime generation with passive mobs and pink slime generation with hostile mobs, but I guess we'll find out, right? Because we're gonna be switching over. So to do that, we of course need to make 4 actual eggs from mob grinding utils, because we need to make 3 plots of dreadful dirt, and then of course 1 for delightful. So that is going to be a bunch of rotten eggs here. So we're gonna need bags of GM feed. This is going to be the rotten egg, which we will need 3 bags of, which I got all my experience. 3 bags of this, and then we need the nutritious, because we're only going to have 1 spot set up for this. This will actually become a passive mob farm. So we have our hostile. These are going to be actual hostile mob farms, and then this right here is going to be a mob farm that we're going to set up specifically to get pink slime with our slaughter factory. So let's go ahead and get these guys. Just like I said, we're going to be popping some chickens. Oh goodness! All of these make the I don't know what that is. Is that a chicken sound? But it's been warped. This one is the happy birthday Darko. Happy birthday Darko one. Oh goodness. Yeah, I made the mistake of asking you guys to say happy birthday to Darko in one of the videos, and oh my goodness, what a what a thing that happened. I didn't expect you guys, as many of you guys, to go over there and bug them like you guys did. But I mean, I guess for comedy's sake, it was kind of funny. Kind of. But anyways. All right. So now that we have all of these different things, let's go ahead and prep our actual mob farm stuff. So mob grinding utils, or sorry, no, industrial foregoing, right? We're going to be using the industrial mob slaughter factory. I did go ahead and prep up to make a few other things. We need a mob crusher as well. This is how we're going to actually get a different type of essence. Save this mob crusher. And the reason I'm making so many mob farms is because there's actually different experience types, right? There's that experience that we're going to be generating, which is regular. This creates essence, and all these different experiences have different uses or use cases. All right, so mob slaughter factory. I need to place this. I want to place it one block out from where we're going to have dark glass surrounding all this, or tinted glass. And then pretty much similar to how we had it set up before, except this time I believe I'm going to use mob. I'm going to use the jumbo tanks here for both of them, and that should be quite a bit. Let's get our glass going. I had glass processing. There's a lot that was being processed because I had to make some 64K drives. Yeah, because I was prepping for this and I knew the 64K drives were definitely going to be needed. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. There we go. We're definitely going to need even more 64Ks. Like, I have this all prepped up. We have so much material, though, to be able to make those. All right, so jumbo tanks, right? Tanks. Mob grinding utils. These things are fantastic, by the way. I mean, they're massive. So, and it really is pretty darn cheap. I should have these on AutoCraft. I don't know why I don't. There we go. And we have some huge tanks that we can do stuff with later. Whether that's setting them up to go into the refined storage or whatever that may be, we can do that all underground. Right now, we'll go ahead and get that set up. And I want to get this all set up first, just because it's going to be a little bit easier on us down the road. So both of those are set to push. They'll push in their respective tanks. And as far as the range goes, I believe we're going to need, what, a range 3 card? And those I need to get processed and made up, because I think a range 4 is a 9x9. Yeah, range 4 is a 9x9, so we just need a range 3 and we should be good. So here we go, man. I got just about everything set up, and it's looking pretty good. Now, this is going to be the passive mob farm, so in here, I need to not make it dark. It needs to be the opposite of everything else, because the actual requirement needs to be above a lighting level of 10. So that's going to be a big part of this. Even though I'm using dark glass, the inside still needs to be bright. And this is smooth glowstone for pickle tweaks, which is kind of nice looking. So long as our light level here is at least above a certain amount. Let's see. I'm not actually seeing the, oh, there it is. It is 10. So it is above 10, which is good. It only seems like this spot right here for some reason is below that. So hopefully these are bright enough. I hope. If not, we'll replace them with something else. But this is also going to grow flowers and leaves and stuff like that. And I don't want that to happen. It's kind of a annoyance to this, but there is a way around it. We should be able to basically place a bucket of water and put that in a dispenser. And the dispenser should be able to fix that for us. Now, we're going to run into a problem with redstone issues here. That's the only thing I'm sort of worried about. Let's get dark. Let's get our tinted glass. I'm going to go ahead and place it here. I don't think there's anything that's going to move out of the way. But like if I do that, inactivate that. Yeah, it's going to place the water. I only want this to be a quick place anyways. And I was going to use let's see, a clock for this. I don't know if I can, I guess I could place a clock up here. But the problem is I still need to light this with redstone. If I place this underneath, will it still interact with the redstone signal? Because there's all kinds of weird redstone stuff that happens. If I place this on the bottom of it, does that interact in any way? It does not. Okay, good. So we need to set this so that way it pulses not incredibly fast. Technically, it's like a flip-flop would be probably the best for this. But this setup here, I want a way to power this and then power it quickly again without it running over and over again. Let's see what I can come up with. So I tried a bunch of different ways of getting this to work, and I think just mainly turning this all the way up to its max tick, making sure it's on tick duration. I was going to try something with an observer to be able to detect when that's happening, but man, observers are so finicky, and I don't want a massive redstone setup over here. So I did put it in the corner, and that's going to work. I think the corner is fine. The only spot that's going to build up is right here. The only downside to this is if something does place here, now that I think about it, we will run into a problem, kind of a big problem, actually. This fan will no longer push if something is in its way. So that is kind of actually a big problem. I don't know what's the best way to fix that either. You know what? I actually know what the best fix is. 100% know what the fix is. On this part right here, we'll just make sure this is stone. So that way this will never have to worry about it transforming in any weird way. And won't have to worry about this not being able to push. So there we go. All right, so most of our mob farms are basically done. Notice all this craziness that's got built up in here from me testing things out. So we do need to make sure this goes in a certain area, and make sure that everything is facing the right way. So currently we are facing south. Okay, so south, that means this is north. So we have our east and west. So east is going to be items, west is going to be fluids. So we need to make sure we get our tank in there. There we go. So tank is set up, items are set up. Everything's basically set up on this side. Over here is a little bit different. So that was the complicated farm, by the way. This is the one that is pretty easy. I went ahead and made an advanced black hole tank. The reason I made this is because it'll allow us to pump later on, and we are going to need a way to pump fluids for this. Other than that, we just need to get wireless power set up for this. Now, items can be a bit tedious on this setup and can be a bit slow to export, but I'm going to try it out at first. And we're going to set the location to be push items into the ender chest. And then, of course, right here, push fluids into the ender tank. If this starts to build up and we start to have any problems with it, we're definitely going to have to change things up. Now, for this farm, everything is basically the exact opposite of this. So it should be west fluids. No, west items, east fluids. There we go. So as you can see, pretty simple. This one is definitely really simple. As you can see, we have 3 fans in here. 1 fan covers the whole area. These fans just push to the side. As soon as we place these eggs in here, things are going to start getting pretty wild. Now, this build right here is going to be the last thing we set up. This one's going to be a whole lot different. Well, actually, this is our mob slaughter factory. So we're going to have to take a few things into view. And I guess this farm will end up becoming, or one of these farms will end up becoming also our passive mob farm. So we might also end up having a special spawner in here that is being powered by this spawner over here. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll talk about that here in just a second, because we need to get this set up first. So this is exactly what I was talking about. We need the mob duplicator. I'm going to place this directly under here. As you can see, we have no power going to anything just yet, but we are going to have a way to send fluids wirelessly and power wirelessly. So at the moment I have, let's see, let's get a GPS. I have 3 GPSs here. Now in this current version, it is kind of broken. Like when you click here, as you can see, it's actually clicking the block next to it. So we're going to have to break this and then select the block on top to be able to make sure this gets powered, but this will be fixed. This is not the intended way. So that card is set. Let's make sure we set everything back up again. Make sure that's set to push. That's set to push. That's off. There we go. And then on the bottom, we have to, I guess we have to do the exact same thing down here, right? To get this powered, I'm going to have to place a block and then remove it. There we go. So place the GPS, the new GPS card. Oh wait, that's weird. I guess if you shift right click, it places on the outside. If you click, it doesn't, but you can't click on machines. So there we go. Now that's on the outside. That's interesting. And then we need to place that back right where that's located. Perfect. Okay, so that should give it power as soon as we put that inside of one of our nodes. Now the fluid is going to work the same way, except we're going to set up a fluid node that is going to be attached to this, which is going to be pretty cool. So just like our prior setup, I almost guarantee, yeah, the GPS is going to be exactly the same. I should have used both GPS cards and set them up in the same fashion, but yeah. For this same fluid, we're going to use the exact same GPS. I wonder, can I just right click? Did that apply? No, it doesn't. So that, yeah, that's kind of the bug, I guess. That was cool that it actually worked the other way around. And then blazes really loud. All right, so quickly try and shift click up to the top. It doesn't want to let me. There we go. And now that one is safely stored. Now this is also going to put fluids in here. May sound crazy, but it's supposed to be able to fill up that fluid slot. And that's where this particular farm is going to come in handy. Actually, I was going to put this over there. The more I think about it, I actually want to put this storage on this farm and not this one. You know what? I guess it really doesn't matter. And this one would kind of feed itself. So you know what? I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to leave this one here. You know what? The more I think about it, the more I am definitely like, yeah, no, it actually has to go over here, because we're going to be doing special things with this particular farm, like beheading upgrades. And that's going to definitely make this farm way, way better to be up underneath here. So if you're getting them relinked and everything, things are looking good. All I have to do now is make sure to put this inside the fluid node, and then this node will transfer fluid into that over there. From here, I'm having this push into the node, and then once we have some fluids build up, they will start to go into here and make sure it's at always on, and everything's pretty much ready to go. I do want to put some upgrades in the mob crushers, just so they work fast enough. So industrial foregoing, I've already made a few of the different upgrades. I don't know if the processing upgrade works in this. Oh, I guess it does. So I will make sure to throw the processing upgrade in there. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait for a creative flight. This flight is pretty slow, but to be honest, we are on a small island. Do we really need a lot of creative flight? Like, not really. This flight is fantastic for what it is. I can't really complain. But yeah, eventually we will be getting creative flight. That'll be once we get into seeds and stuff like that, getting into mystical agriculture. Not in a huge hurry for that though. So now that everything's ready, I mean, we're ready. Like, all we got to do is close this up, tinted glass and all. And we are ready to go. I'm just going to get this prepped up. This right here, all going to be glass. This is going to be broken, and we are going to place these eggs in here. So this one is a hostile, so I need to remember that. Go, and we also need to make sure there's no light in here, residual light. So if I break that, does not look like there's any light in there. Place that down, and hurry up and close this thing. Oh boy. Okay, also, we do need a range upgrade in this. I almost forgot to put the range upgrade. And there we go. Look how quickly that's able to pull all that stuff. And as you can see, that ended up going over here and went into that mob grinder. So this is going to be a specific for spawning in certain things. And here we go. Mob, as you can see, the essence is inside. All we have to do is capture a mob to put in here. But I do want to show the working area temporarily. The working area fits perfectly in here. Oh, I missed the block. I actually need to be over one, don't I? Wow, man, I am not good with the placement on here. I actually need to be over one, and I'm probably going to put a 1+ upgrade in here, or a 2+ upgrade, just to make sure that it can fill this whole room. But I mean, from the looks of it, it's great. I just got to move that GPS once again, just to make sure it's in the right location. So after fixing all that, we're looking pretty good. It is now centered. Oh my goodness, what fun. And now this doesn't have any upgrades in it. Now we haven't started messing with that. That'll be something that we definitely work on. But there we go. And mobs should definitely start spawning in here. Now on this particular farm, it is pretty loud, and Endermen have a chance of teleporting. So we definitely want to put an Ender inhibitor on here just to make sure that the Endermen don't just teleport on accident for some reason. Last but not least, or actually, we still have a couple more farms. This one, same thing. This is just going to be generating stuff. Like, all we got to do is put this rotten egg down, close it up, and just let this do its thing. It should be pretty fast at killing the mobs. If it's going to do that. Oh, we don't have the range in there. So yeah, we got to make sure to put the range upgrade in there. That should kill them all off, and we should start generating pink slime, which for some reason is not going into this tank. There it goes. And then, of course, we're getting our other fluids. So those are going to be used for later. Last but not least, we have our passive mob farm, which is definitely the weirdest of them all. But is going to generate other resources that we will use over time. So there we go. So I do have to turn on the fans. They're not on yet. Get some levers. And once we have our fans on, we should be good. Turn that on. Just heard the dog barking. Oh gosh. And there we go. Perfect. And this should be pretty constant because with that water that drops in, it's going to be removing all the stuff that actually prevents this from working normally. So now that all of our mob farms are set up, we should be getting some nice goodie bags, but we have some more stuff that I want to do. I need to go to the Nether, and I need to capture a wither skeleton. This is going to be fantastic. We could capture a blaze as well for later on use, but at the moment, I'm going straight for a wither skeleton. Hopefully we can find one real quick. Lurking around. Where would a wither skeleton be? There's so many blaze sounds. There's gotta be some lurking around over here. But anyways, wither skeletons, they have there's a couple of ways we could generate them. Using that same farm that we had set up, we could technically use witch water, and witch water will turn regular skeletons that spawn into wither skeletons. It also does a few other things, like it can turn things into witches and things like that. But at the moment, I really don't want to use that method. It requires a little bit of finagling to get it to work. So at the moment, I'm going straight for just actively spawning these guys. I went the wrong way, didn't I? This is going to give me just a little bit more control over what I need and what I want to spawn. Of course, it being just one at the moment, I mean, that's going to be one thing that happens. Wondering why it's not as fast as it used to be. Like the mobs just, I guess they are spawning. They're just dying really quick. It could be the thing. I figure, yeah. The passive mob farm seems faster than everything else. But it could be that I just can't see the mobs spawning because I'm too far away. I have no idea. I went ahead and tried to decorate these to make them not look so horrible sitting out and also kind of fit the rest of the theme of our build. But this should definitely get things up and rolling and spawning. So I can speed this up with the upgrades. At the moment, it's going to spawn them, as you can see, the wither skeletons. And it's not going to spawn, you know, super fast until we put those upgrades in. So keep that in mind. But I do want to start gaining wither skeleton skulls. And for that, we are going to need some beheading upgrades to go into that bad boy. So let's take a look at Mob Grinder and the beheading upgrade. And as you can see, it's going to require a bunch. Now, it only requires 10 of these upgrades. So really, we need 20 iron helmets and 20 gold helmets. That's literally nothing. And it's probably best if we just create autocrafts for them. Yeah, I figured that might actually be the best. So let's create a pattern for this. A pattern for this. And let's make sure we have patterns. By the way, I do have sand and stuff now being auto-generated. So that's why I'm able to just make these freely. I just have the same setup that we're using for this. I went ahead and set it up over here just on top of those that are connected to our network. So it works out pretty nice. Yeah, so for this Mob Grinder, this is like just for convenience because typing this out or doing this by hand, all of this manual crafting, it kind of a pain actually. So watch how quickly that this will happen. Like we just toss these in and then I say, all right, I want 10. And this bad boy is going to just craft it immediately for me. No problem at all. Some other upgrades that we could probably put in here, sharpness. Sharpness is another really nice thing. So if we set up a pattern for that, for stick, it should just use a regular stick. Also, I need to make sure that I can auto craft sticks, because I don't think I have a pattern set up for sticks. And then last but not least, we'll have this. So there we go. There's some more sharpness upgrades. I mean, will we ever use these? I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't see why not. Oh, gold. That makes sense. We're missing gold nuggets. Make a pattern for that, and we're good to go. So yeah, over time, we'll definitely maintain, and we'll be able to make tons and tons of patterns for stuff. That's why I have these spaces here, because we can just build up from here from these crafters. So another thing we can also do is, I believe, give ourselves some fire over here. And this should be able to now cook the mobs. So some mobs, I mean, it's not really going to matter if they're on fire, but we should be able to get now cooked steak and stuff automatically from that farm. This farm, though, is the one I went ahead and got all these upgraded and crafted up. Now, this bad boy should give us quite a lot of stuff. Like, we have looting on there as well, so that should give us bonus materials. I mean, this farm is quite nice, especially with the head drops. You can see we're getting heads right there. I mean, look how quickly that's flowing through. There's so much stuff going on right now. And we might have to switch to stack upgrades, or I don't know. Speed upgrades seem to be working so far, but still, like, that's things are really flowing in here in our ender chest. But man, look at all those skulls. We're gonna have so many wither skulls. We already have 41. It's insane. So last thing, I did want to test this out. Remember how we were doing passive versus regular? So it does seem like if you do a passive farm, you're gonna get way more pink slime. Then is if you run a regular hostile mob farm, as you can see, we're getting way more liquid meat than we were getting pink slime. So really, this is going to be a great way to make sure this thing is basically completely full at all times. I just wish there was a way to always keep it full in our inventory. That way we're always saturated. We never need to eat, but I guess once we notice our hunger going down, we can always refill this bad thing. I don't think it has any enchants. That'd be really cool too, if we could enchant the meat feeder to have like some kind of like sustainability on it. That would be pretty nice. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Of course, I do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And if I can find a tree, there we go. And that is going to be a huge thanks. If I can spell thanks, I always struggle sometimes. Thanks to Dark Magus 1134. Thank you so much for your amazing support, going absolutely above and beyond over on Patreon. And guys, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and well, click that subscribe button, as we are so close to 500,000. You know, once we hit that 500,000, I'll be able to look back on this video and go, you know what, that was a time, wasn't it? But anyways, thank you guys so much for your amazing support. I hope to see you over on Discord and or over on Twitch, and of course, I appreciate your face, and I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.